Okay, so welcome. Are we ready? All right, welcome to the 1904 bookshelf tour. I heard about this meme that teenage girls are doing now with their bookshelves where they actually do little YouTubes of their shelves. And somebody said, why don't you do the same thing with yours? I have 4 bookcases. That's all I was allowed when I moved in here. It's going to be 4 cases, so I got 4 deep ones. And that was it, except I've cheated and the books have all ended up on the floor and on top of other things too. But the idea was to try and control and confine the collection. It's not alphabetical because books talk to themselves, talk to each other at night. So you want to put people next to each other that are interesting. Karen has my book that I just wrote, and she put me between Salinger and Robert Stone, which is actually very sweet. But she's an alphabetical kind of gal, and I'm not. So people are organized by associations and by who would talk to each other and have an interesting conversation. Because here, Robert Stone is next to Truman Capote, which I think is sort of nice, and Thomas Pynchon too. So anyway, this is not the first time we've actually filmed in here. My neighbor downstairs, this is like the poor man's Chateau Marmont at Los Altos in beautiful Southern California. And Paul had brought some kids who live in the building up to the building, and up to the apartment, and shot up here. And his book, can you see this? His book is California Dreaming. He goes on the other side. This is where, speaking of teenage girls, this is the painting I took when I taught school. I took the girls, my little girls, to see the Wyndham sisters. And that sort of started the whole thing of 1904 and the idea of putting things together that make sense. Anyway, this is the chair that's sitting right here. This is another teenage girl, 16, who shot here. And you'll see on the other side of the room, he was here, sitting around in long underwear, shooting. So it's not the first time we've had camera crew here. This is Clouds. This is the house. It's now a rehab, but this is the house at the Wyndham. This portrait, this painting hung in this house. And it's now a rehab, Clouds Rehab, which sort of fit. It was the Wyndham family. They're the Wyndham sisters. It all goes to the idea that a blog is by association, that I get up in the morning, I start writing, and I start combining things that I have associations with, that I make connections. So the books get to talk to each other at night, and then I get to make those connections. 1904, again, began with James Joyce's Ulysses, June 16th, 1904. It all takes place on a single day. And in 1904, I said, well, then let's do that. Let's combine it's nice. We've got the yellow book up above. And then if you have a maid like I have, or a housekeeper, what's a nice word? Housekeeper? Cleaning lady? Like Esther, then you want to probably put books, that's why there are books sitting on top of the yellow book, so that she doesn't dust the tops of the spines off, which she's sort of done a pretty good job on a few. That was my first sort of major purchase. So on top of the yellow book, I have Cruising the Archive. That's the catalog for the One Archive, the gay and lesbian collection of Los Angeles. On top of them is the Somerset Mom and me, my book, On Wings of Affection.